just established. Again, you're the defensive player of the year. You're one of the best at your position. You're one of the tops in the National Football League. You have a new standing in the league, which means you could easily talk mess about your coach. So let's try. Give me your favorite Sean Payton story, please. What do you got for me? Patrick Surtain.
Favorite Sean Payton story.
Please. Please.
I mean, it's plenty. I just know. So Sean, he's a firm believer in getting things done. So before the season, he's very schedule oriented. He mentioned about our travel plans, this and that, and he brought up this time throughout the offseason about going to the Greenbrier, which is a resort in West Virginia. It's like a old 5-star resort, which is very traditional. But so he mentioned it early on, like in training camp before the season even started, that we was going to be staying there during our time in the East Coast, because we had a schedule where it lined up that we played Tampa Bay, then we had to go to New York to play the Jets. So, he suggested, why not just stay in the East Coast? Us on the team, we didn't believe it. Like, we was going to stay, in this place, in this sort of, old 5-star resorted place. And but he stayed with it. And, we stayed there. And some of the team, we was quite confused because we didn't know where we was at. Like, we was in the middle of West Virginia, just staying there and sleeping there. And everybody, like, he had these stories how everybody believed it was haunted and stuff, and the whole team was kind of scared and sort of skeptical about staying there. But he brought us there. He was very confident that once we stayed there, we were gonna get on a winning streak. We was gonna get a winning streak going because the camaraderie gonna build, the bondage is gonna build as well too. And I just remember some of the teammates, they was hearing noises in the Greenbrier, and everybody was scared, and everybody was sort of on the edge of their toes. But at the end of the day, it was a great experience because at the end of the day, Sean was like, once we stay here, we're going to get a winning streak going. And, surprisingly not, we was on a winning streak. And from there on forward, it was like Sean has these beliefs and, he has these conspiracies that work. And it pays a long way for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty big moment for your season. You start 0-2 with a rookie quarterback. You go to Tampa, you come up with a win. You're staying in this haunted place, right? And then all of a sudden you go to New York and you beat the defense just absolutely beat down the Jets offense to the point where we learned later on, Patrick, that the Jets were, the owner was considering benching Aaron Rodgers off of that game. Like, you smoked him and then really started showing some people that you could win and be a serious threat. Like, that had to be a very big moment for you. But I'll be straight up with you, Patrick. I know this is the first time we're really talking. That sounds like you cleaned it up. I know, Sean, you cleaned up something here. You left something out. You left something on the floor. That's not your best Sean Payton story. I'm just gonna go out there and say that you're hiding it. You're not giving me your best Sean Payton story. But, I mean, he's like a Parcells guy. He's a hard ass a little bit. He's fun. He's a bit of a hard ass. I know that. He can get on you. Does he get on you? Does Sean get on you at all, Patrick?
He does. I mean, here and there he does.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I remember one time throughout the year last year. So 2 years ago, we played against the Patriots, and it wasn't the best game. We lost that game. And on the field, he written down the exact stat sheet that receiver had against me. It was just one receiver he kept mentioning. It wasn't like one of my worst games, but it was a game where I knew, like, I was slacking a little bit. He was on me a little bit about it. And this year coming up, we played against a familiar opponent who wasn't as good. We should have beat the brakes off him. And he just wrote this stat sheet on paper that the receiver had, and he put it on my nameplate, my practice jersey, and he made me wear it the whole practice. So let me know.
Now
we're not doing this again. Yeah,
that's it. So he put it on your nameplate. You're walking around amongst your teammates.
Put it on the back. He went up to my coach, matter of fact, and he was trying to make it like so secretive. But I was standing right there underneath. My coach is right here. He was like, Some running body stats against the Patriots last year with his one receiver, and he had a pretty good stat line against our number one corner. And I'm hearing it, you know what I mean? I'm sort of glimpsing the conversation, act like I don't hear it. And he had this piece of paper written down, and I looked at it, and it was the stat sheet the receiver had. And he taped it on the back of my nameplate, and I wore it throughout practice, which was crazy. But
Pop Douglas's
it's
stat line, was that what it was? It was Demario Davis's. It was
no, it was
Demario
Devontae
Douglas.
Parker.
Devontae Parker
Yeah.
also,
Devontae
yeah.
Parker.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had like two catches on me, and it was just like one of those games where I wasn't locked in, and
All
you
right.
know, it was just yeah, it was one of those games where I didn't have my best game, but he remembered that game vividly. So
Now, see, I was right. I kept digging. But that is a great story about you going to that spot in West Virginia. He's like, hey, we're going to go on a win streak. And then you do. And then you use that to springboard to your playoffs appearance. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.